Hey everyone, I hope that you are staying on the upside. I really haven't been recording much lately. The summertime, it just I get so busy, but I do have a day. And I was just out here in the recording building. Just set my electric drums back up. And you probably can't see them that good, but you see them in drum covers all the time. And I got to thinking, a little 8-inch floor tom, just don't cut it with me. Just don't feel nothing natural about it. So I'm going to try to either use this or the 10-inch snare for the floor tom. Probably end up using this because usually on a standard drum kit you got a 16-inch floor tom with a 14-inch snare, so that would make it more balanced to a real acoustics. I did do a few covers with the acoustics back about a month and a half ago, and well, guys, it didn't go too good. As I have said, I have a neighbor that moved across the road, and they moved the camper right on the side of the road, right across the road from my drum building. And my drum building is right on the highway. What we are going to try to do today is build a floor tom or snare, whichever way we go. And I'm going to wrap this thing and, do the right. But seriously, what you are looking at is colored duct tape. Got all kinds of little fancy glitter stuff. And I got this at the Dollar Tree. So, if I mess this up, it's just $1 for this. And it basically, to me, looks like duct tape. I covered one of my toms for my electric drums, and I will give you a peek at it. Now, something small like that, it does pretty good. And it was black. It's just the add-on that you see for the fourth tom. What we're going to do is tear this apart and put it right here. And I will show you a little more later on that. I've already got this shell tore down. I'm going to, this is a DIY kit that I did years ago. It is just the acoustic drums cut down. These are cut down to 4 inches. And this is a 12 that we will be going with. I have a whole kit of these up. Actually, it doubles because when you cut them in two, well, actually one of them, the 16-inch and the bass drum, part of it was damaged and water damage, but you basically have 2 of these each. So, but I'm just going to build one today. If this don't work out, what we might do is convert the acoustics over, because obviously I'm not going to be able to play them much anytime soon. So I may convert them over to electric. I've done that before. I've built kits and things. So it's not that big a deal. And I will think that I'm playing real drums, but in reality it will be the electric. Using the computer software, it's pretty cool like that. And I want to do that, but I just don't have the stuff to build a whole kit right now. So for right now, we will build this, and I can always lift this out, put in the 12-inch tom in the acoustics, just lift the thing out. But, hey, let's quit rambling on about this and get into it. I'm going to try to wrap this, and then we will clean the hardwire up, put on it. Then I will show you how the triggering works in it. And just a little DIY project. I have a day here to do so. Don't have the electric set back up to record a cover. So we do this. So guys, let's get into it. Okay, I got a wrap. It took every bit of 7 minutes. And, it's not perfect, but when the hardwire's on it, I believe it's going to look pretty good. I did this less than $1. I've still got tape left. So, hey, for something like this, it works. You just have to be careful putting the tape on. There's a little art to that. And the little round things actually looks like little records. But what you're looking at is different. You move it, it changes. You get an orange, you get a red. Pretty cool for a wrap for a electric drum. Anything any thicker, it wouldn't look good because you can get to seeing the seams here. But for something like this, hey, it's going to look good. Let's get the hardware cleaned and get it on and see what it turns out like. Okay, I got some of the hardware on it, and this is just a little black hose that you have on your vehicle, gas line, I think it is. This split and put up on there, and then I've got some of the hardware on it. I cleaned it a little bit, as my dad used to say, son, all you're doing is wiping at it, or giving it a lick and promise. But anyway, that's a little bit more of what it looks like. I will say, for just an old cheap fix, it's not bad. So let's get this thing together, and hopefully it works. Okay, just a little update on some items that I will be using to make this hopefully happen. First of all, we will need some L brackets, or some brackets to attach it to. And if we can see this inside the drum shell here, as you can see, I have put on some L brackets, as you can see right there. And all that tape is where I've had the rim trigger on it, the piezo on it to do that. But anyway, you can see you need a couple of L brackets, and where'd we go here? And a bar go across like this, and these will fit down in that. That will allow you to adjust this up and down, and on this will be this is the piece that I was talking about earlier, out of the 8-inch tom on the electric drums, and that's what the trigger looks like here. And underneath here you have the rim trigger. We will have to work on that if we use this for a snare, in order to get it to transfer it through this shell. But if we use it for floor tom, I won't be using it no way, so we won't have to worry about it. Okay, but this is kind of what's going to happen. We're going to set this on here, and we're going to take some screws, run down through here and bolt it down, and that's basically what we're going to come up with. Then I will show you on adjusting the head, adjusting the trigger to the drum head here in just a moment. But let me get this thing buttoned up just a little bit more, and we will hopefully try this thing out in a little bit. But that's a general idea of what I'm hoping will work, and it will, because I showed you the snare that I have been using, and it's been working fine. The rim trigger wasn't that great in places because it's a bigger area than an 8-inch. But let's get this thing on together and see how this thing works, guys. Okay, we'll take a look at it just before we will put the head on it. And this is kind of what it looks like. Like I said earlier, this is just the triggering out of the 8-inch tom that we were talking about that I used. And as you can see how I placed it in here, I just used 2 screws, screwed it on this board here. Let me get it turned around. And on this side, you can see the L brackets. You can see where that I can adjust it up and down there. And it's just a piece of wood, probably about a inch board, cut down to about 1.5 inches that runs across. And that pretty well makes it up, and you will plug in right here, just like you would in the electric drum with the regular head. And what we will do now, we will put the head on it. But guys, just a little tip, you want to adjust these triggers, and you want them to take a straight edge such as this, and don't let it come up over an 1/8, 1/16, somewhere in there, because as you can see, this is plastic. Even though it's very flexible, if you just put a lot of pressure on this, you're going to bust it. And just a little bit, about a 1/16 or an 1/8. I guess I wouldn't recommend no more, but just go all the way around it, measuring there, and until you get it pretty even all the way around. It will flex a little bit, so if you just pinch out, that will probably be okay. So I'm going to put the head on it and test this, and see what we got here, guys. Okay, there we have it. We have it together. And just take a little look around it.